Australians all, one and free, we gather again, here in our nation's most sacred place and in thousands of places across our land, to reflect, remember, give thanks and draw strength. Here at the Australian War Memorial, we gather on land which is the local Ngunnawal people. They consider it as a cradle, a place where the elements are constrained by Mount Ainslie, Mount Taylor and Black Mountain. These hills stand watch over the Australian eucalypts and the New Zealand hebe plants that line the Anzac Parade and lead to this, our national place of remembrance and memorial. This time last year, like so many other times in our history, we faced a defining moment as a nation, a moment of uncertainty and danger when the future seemed so uncertain, masked by fog. We couldn't gather, indeed, but we held candles in driveways and on balconies, and we played the last post on radios and iPhones, as some, especially in our West, will do again today. And together we called on our past to light up the dawn. And in doing so, we rediscovered a deep truth about who we are. Our strength is found in each other. When we are threatened, when our peace and our safety and our security are imperiled, in these moments, our differences fade away. On this Anzac Dawn, we remind ourselves of the sacrifices, the courage, the selflessness which helped make our country what it is today. Some might think that our Anzac story began on this morning 106 years ago as quiet rowboats waited just off the peninsula at Gallipoli. And that is true. That's when we entered our first conflict as one people. But the story of those times and all the times since didn't begin on battlefields, on land, at sea or in the sky. It began in the homes and the farms and the towns and the suburbs across our great country. It's in those places that selflessness, duty, respect and responsibility were learned, where love of family and community and country is warmed and is kindled in the youngest hearts and the oldest minds. It is also where the pain of loss is felt most acutely. In the words of the poet Ujuru Nunakal, who served in the Second World War, let us not say the past is dead. The past is all around us and within. Gallipoli, Villabretna and Beersheba, Tobruk and Changi, Normandy and the Coral Sea, Kokoda and Crete, Bangka Island, Hellfire Pass, Kapiong, Borneo, Long Tan, Dili and Honiara, Kuwait, Baghdad, Tarin Kowt. These are not just places on a map, they are places that exist in the very Australian soul. These memories are passed from one generation to the next. They are entrusted to us to remember and to renew and to remind us of who we are, but also who we can be. Sergeant Ricky Morris understands this better than most. Ricky served in East Timor and Afghanistan. He is a descendant of the Lovett family, a member of the Fighting Gunditjmara, an Aboriginal family from Western Victoria, proud of country, proud of family, proud of uniform. Men and women, in Ricky's words, who stood up. 5 brothers, including Ricky's grandfather, served in the First World War. 4 of them again served in the Second World War. More than 20 family members have seen active service that's woven its way from Pozières, Passchendaele and Amiens to Japan, Korea, Vietnam, East Timor and Afghanistan, and with the Women's Auxiliary Australian Air Force. Ricky says every medal tells a story, whether it's worn over the heart of a veteran or carried by one of their loved ones, and that matters so much, especially today. Sometimes you feel alone on days like today. You want to be with your mates, says Ricky. This Anzac Day, another chapter in our history is coming to a close, with the announcement last week of our departure and that of our great friend and ally, the United States, from Afghanistan. Australia has been a steadfast contributor to the fight against terrorism. It's been our longest war. The world is safer from the threat of terrorism than when the Twin Towers were felled almost 20 years ago, but we remain vigilant. However, this has come at a great cost. 41 Australian lives lost in Afghanistan, whom we especially remember and honour this morning. More than 39,000 Australians have served on operations in support of Australia's mission in Afghanistan, many carrying the wounds and scars of war, seen and unseen. They are the bravest of this generation. Sergeant Andrew Russell served in Iraq, Kuwait and East Timor before being deployed to Afghanistan. He was the first Australian killed there when his patrol vehicle struck an anti-vehicle mine. He was 33. He left behind his wife Kylie and his 11-day-old daughter Lisa. Lisa is now 19 and studying criminology. Kylie says she is, in so many ways, just like her dad. She lives with a strong sense of duty. Duty, that sense of self that seeks to build a better world, expressed in courage, endurance, mateship and sacrifice. The duty of Sergeant Andrew Russell is part of our national story, as is the duty of Sergeant Brett Till. Brett was killed in Afghanistan while trying to disarm an improvised explosive device. He joined the army after the 9/11 terror attacks. His wife, Bree, who Jenny and I have come to know well, says Brett was good, humble and honourable, with unequivocal, uncomplicated intentions. He and his wife, Bree, were expecting their first child together to join their wonderful family with Brett's older children, Talia and Jacob. Their child, Ziggy, will be in high school next year. I know Brett would be so proud of all his 3 children and the amazing job Bree has done to raise their family. Today we also honour the children, spouses, partners, parents and loved ones of the men and women who have served our nation in Afghanistan, and all the families of all who served at home and abroad. Their love, encouragement and prayers have sustained our soldiers, sailors, aviators, nurses, padres and peacekeepers. They have helped shoulder the burdens that follow service too. Fellow Australians, shortly the bugle will sound again. That sound is much a part of the Australian landscape as the birds we hear awakening at this dawn underneath our great Southern Cross. Our Anzac Reveille, in the words of Her Majesty the Queen, is our call of awakening and rededication, our reminder of the standards for which we should all strive when we are called upon to do our duty. May we continue to be strengthened by the duty and example and memory of all who have served and continue to serve, lest we forget.